What is going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today I want to talk to you about Faraday Future, tickers FFIE. We are in the roller coaster that we call the stock market, so I want to go over some of the recent news, the data points, and why we are down 5.13%. So I'm going to go over all that. Make sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate it. And with that, let's get right to it. So we are down 5.13%, largely because of CPI, despite some positive news coming out. So when it comes down to CPI, as you can see, the month over month was kind of in line with the forecast. The year over year was a little bit lower. So the forecast was 3.3, came in at 3.2. But if you look at the true data, it does show energy did make up for roughly half of the increase, but the other half was the other basket items. So of course, to kind of signal that inflation is still there. And unfortunately, a lot of people are starting to kind of think ahead and the repercussions of this CPI data, and that Powell might potentially raise the rates on the next meeting on September the 20th right here. So once again, not necessarily the best, but when it comes down to it, obviously you can see the broader indexes are still green. It's just a lot of stocks that are reliant on debt, such as Faraday, those are the ones that are getting hit the most. But like I said, there was some pretty good news that did come out last night right here. So this is why it did have a lot of volatility. So a run to the 29.50, and then unfortunately, like I said, CPI is just kicking it back down. But this news right here is fairly good. So they're having a special delivery campaign to kick off the Developer Co-Creation Festival. So once again, I think this is a fairly good thing, and it does go to show exactly how excited people are for these vehicles and just operations, production, and so forth. So once again, I think that big things might be coming. Just in the short term, might be a little bit more volatility. As far as options, just the overall frequency has gone down, but today there's 41,000 or just over that in calls being purchased versus 13,000 in puts. So based on this, people are anticipating for it to continue to trend up. And as far as this, looking at the momentum indicator, shows number of retail investors are getting out today. Stochastic is currently at 21. A very bearish sentiment is kind of ingrained in it right now. And on the technicals, we are unfortunately transitioning from the higher to the lower percentile of the Bollinger Band, and today also did break below both the 50 and 100-day moving average. So on the technical standpoint, it's not necessarily looking the best, but with it being at 26.03, it is currently between this S1 and the pivot. And as I've said over the last couple updates, the spread on all of these are very wide. So you have to anticipate there's going to be a lot of volatility. So 5-cent swings might actually be kind of normal, at least in the short term. So let me know you guys' thoughts on that, and give yourself a shout out, for instance, if you did buy today or if you sold. What's your kind of take on all of that? As far as the latest round of 13Fs to show institutions what they're doing with Faraday. So the green ones made brand new positions right here. So this one is kind of odd. It just shows 0. So clearly maybe just 1 or 2 shares, something very, very small. But you do see some that did close out 100% of their position. And all of these transactions did occur within Q2. And you kind of have to realize during Q2, it was very volatile. So clearly a lot of institutions were maybe taking profits during this run, or just maybe they forecasted it to go down. Who knows? There's a lot of different things that could be coming out as well. On August the 16th, Faraday does have their upcoming shareholder meeting. So once again, just be aware that for proposal is a reverse stock split. And that's one thing that people do not generally like as of right now. And based on, as you can see right here, Mullen, and what is happening, it has gone down quite a lot. And largely because, once again, in a similar kind of comparison, they recently announced a reverse stock split, and also they have had severe dilution. So Faraday's kind of been a similar case, just the fact that they haven't really had the crazy dilution aspect. But as far as this, I'll give you guys a quick overview of what big money has been doing behind the scenes. So with Faraday and today, there's only been 2 transactions that did occur on the secondary market over $100,000. But based on this, the bid and the ask, it was well over the ask. So 2 institutions clearly wanted to get in very much. And when it comes down to this is all the dark pool transactions. So for Faraday, there wasn't any transactions today. A lot of people don't like the dark pool because it's linked to shorting and stuff like that. So I'll give you guys a good overview of what shorts are doing today and everything else. So short score is currently 77, utilization is 97%. And on a side note, if you guys have any questions about any of this information, let me know in the comments below. But right now, $68.67 million worth of shorts are out there. And considering right now that market cap for Faraday right here is about 406,000, that's pretty substantial. But once again, going over here, so shorts are increasing 1.49 million shares, which is kind of small considering 251.18 million shares overall are being shorted. 19.5% of the free float is being shorted. Cost to borrow has been kind of within that 8 to 9% range for the last little bit, so it is currently at 8.63%. So in reality, the fact that they are increasing on a red day, it kind of does signal the fact that they are anticipating a further downtrend. So let me know your viewpoint on that. But once again, they could also be betting on the huge amount of volatility, and like I mentioned with the spread right here on the fib levels, that does indicate that there's going to be a lot of big swings, which of course might actually have the volume up significantly, and that might just draw some attention to Faraday, so that might result in it being positive maybe. But once again, let me know your viewpoint on that. Give yourself a shout out in the comments below if you have been buying, like I mentioned. And one final thing I just wanted to share with you, based on the latest Morningstar report, it does show the fair market value being 44 cents. And of course, like I've said in the past, if you guys are ever wanting a lot of this information, such as latest Morningstar reports, sentiment, ownership, and analyst ratings, everything under the sun, take a look at Interactive Brokers, link in the description below, and also the comments, completely free to have all of this information. So definitely take a look at this. So let me know your viewpoint on that. And don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And one final thing, take advantage of promos such as this. So even though Faraday is going down sideways, take advantage of some free shares, and that is with Moomoo. So just throw $100 in a free account and you get 5 free stocks. Each stock is valued up to $2,000, and you also get a $50 cash reward. So this literally is one of the best deals that you can get. Link in the description below and also the comments. With that said, I appreciate you guys watching. Let's all make a lot of money on Faraday.